What's up, my peeps? Today I want to talk about Kanye West. Okay, video for my hip hop heads out there. All right, I know a lot of people when they talk about they want the old Kanye back. They are usually talking about the guy that pretty much was rapping. All right, now we get Kanye doing melodies and things of that nature. A lot of them miss the conscious rap version of Kanye, and they say that the Kanye that we get now is a clout chasing, wave chasing Kanye. He's not creating like he used to. He used to be an innovator. He used to create, but now he's not creating anything. He's just chasing sounds. Well, let me say that I believe that Kanye has been wave chasing his entire career. And I believe this so much that I actually wrote some notes. Usually I just go off the top of my head, but I can't remember all of this shit, so I had to write some of it down. Um, I do believe that Kanye is an innovator. I do believe that he is creative. But what I think what he's creative of doing is Kanye will take a subgenre and he will give it his spin to it. Okay. And I think there are songs that he's made that go completely outside the box and it's not wave chasing or anything. It's something that only Kanye can do. Like the song Power. That's one of my favorite hip hop songs of all time. And he's not chasing any wave on it. That is just some Kanye shit. Okay. And he created a masterpiece, okay, when it came to that song. But I think when you see Kanye, when his album is out and his album, the theme, the sound, the theme sound, if there is a thing called a theme sound, like the mood of the album, like when you have an album that's like just a trap rap album, when you have like a crunk album, any subgenre in hip hop, when you have a conscious album, okay. Kanye based all of his sound themes, if that's what we're going to call it, if that's what I'm going to call it, around whatever was the popular subgenre, like in the underground. It wasn't like the popular sound that was charting. It was that popular sound that was festering in the underground of hip hop. Okay. Now, conscious rap is in the underground, obviously, but it's not like a popular sound, in that underground base. You're not gonna have fucking, guys who, what do you call them, hipsters, come up to you and be like, oh, you don't know nothing about this, and it's gonna be a conscious rap. It's usually some other, I hate to say it, like drugged up sound rap now. Like that's what I call it now. Like a lot of these songs are catered to people on how they feel when they on a certain type of drug. Okay, if you can't feel groovy on that song when you on a certain type of drug, then that sound is not for you. And I don't see anything with conscious rap that is like really connecting with a lot of the kids right now. Okay, now back in the days, all right, with conscious rap, hip hop pretty much started on it. I don't want to say it started on it. It was more of like party music. But when hip hop got introduced to the mainstream, a good percentage of the stuff that was, popular and put in the forefront were, songs that had a message to them. And like most of them songs were done by conscious artists, okay? And like in the late 80s, early 90s, when hip hop was reaching the golden era, excuse me, it was conscious rap that pretty much was holding it down for hip hop. You had your KRS-Ones, you had your Public Enemies, you had X-Clan, you could throw Tupac in that boat, and I'm talking early 90s Tupac. You could throw him in that boat. Ice Cube, I don't care what people say about Ice Cube being his gangster rapper. To me, Ice Cube, outside of NWA, Ice Cube, the solo artist, is a conscious MC. Ice Cube in NWA is a gangster rapper, I give you that. But Ice Cube as a solo artist is a conscious MC that dabbles in gangster rap. Ice Cube probably would disagree with me, and I would tell him, look at your catalog, homie. Okay, because a good 80% of the shit that Cube was coming to us with was conscious rap as a solo artist. My favorite hip hop song, album of all times is Death Certificate. And that's like a conscious, straight up conscious album. But anyway, late 80s, early 90s, conscious rap was like popular. It was the mainstream, okay? Until gangster rap just did an eclipse with it, okay? Now, it was still around, but at the same time, it wasn't as big. I think what happened with conscious rap around that time is it became a subgenre that was still buzzing. Like, it was still had a buzz, because you had a Tribe Called Quest out there. You know, Souls of Mystery was able to make a big song around that time. Diggable Planets. You know, you had artists that was coming around, but they were like coming and going, just like you see with subgenres now. Okay, a lot of these songs that come out in popular subgenres, those artists don't last. Like, I'll give you an example. What the fuck happened to that guy who sings "I'm in Love with the Coco"? What happened to him? Okay, he benefited from a sound. All right, and you can make the same case for like Diggable Planets. Like, they were conscious rappers. I'm not saying they're not true to what they were doing. I'm saying that they were benefiting from that being a trendy sound at that time, okay? A lot of record labels were going to find artists that did conscious rap because it was the big thing, okay? Now, when it became less popular, you know, of course, labels started running to who's the next big gangster rapper. And, you know, gangster rap had its wave, all right? I think after the gangster rap wave, it got to a point where a lot of subgenres were getting a lot of shine. But at the same time, you still had a top dog, okay? And what I mean by that is around the late 90s, going into the late 90s, like 96 on down, we were able to get hip hop in it was a lot of ways for us to get it, you know, versus having to go actually to New York to hear, you know, the latest song from Mobb Deep. You know, you didn't hear this song unless you stayed in New York or knew somebody that was in New York. We got to a point where we were able to get music, you know, from a lot of different angles, okay? And this made it where subgenres like crunk music got popular, okay? You had your bling bling era, okay? That had a spot, and conscious rap had a pocket too. I think this is when I'm about to start getting to the list, okay? Where I believe that the person that made conscious music, period, okay? When you're talking about R&B and you're talking about rap, I think the person that pushed it out there and made it explode was Erykah Badu. Okay, Baduism came out in 1997, and that is a game-changing album. Okay, I need to make a video about that. Okay, that is a game-changing album. What Erykah Badu did for conscious music was amazing. Okay, you will see a lot of artists benefit from her making that sound popular. Okay, and Kanye West is kind of like a Erykah Badu. Okay, when you think about it, because she is a conscious singer, okay, a soul singer, neo soul singer, what they would call it. And the music that she was bringing out, you know, full of soul, full of pain, okay, and talk about the struggles within the black community. That album got so big that people wanted to chase that sound. And you had major labels going to find artists that did that sound, or you had major labels who had artists already signed but start giving them more money to push the sign out there. Like, I'm gonna put more money behind your project because this is the big thing. And my example for that is, okay, that album, Erykah Baduism, came out in 1997. Okay, Black on Both Sides by Mos Def came out in 99, and his album, The New Danger, came out in 2004. Those are his two biggest albums, okay? And this is after Baduism. And I would make a case that conscious music like declined in like 2007. I think like 2007 is when it just really faded out. And Kanye faded out right with it. Don't forget that this is about Kanye, okay? 99, 2004, Mos Def had his best-selling albums, okay? Dead Prayers, all right? Dead Prayers, their two most successful albums came out in 2000 and in 2004. Let's Get Free and Revolutionary but Gangster, okay? Talib Kweli, his best charting albums was Quality, came out in 2002. Beautiful Struggle came out in 2004. And his best charting album, Eardrum, came out in 2007, which is my favorite Kweli album, okay? The Roots, most successful album, which is an album that features Erykah Badu, okay, is Things Fall Apart, which came out in 1999. Okay, the trend I'm trying to set to you, De La Soul, I got De La Soul on here. De La Soul most successful album dropped in 2000, okay? What I'm trying to say to you is that from 97 to 2007, there was a big lane for conscious rap, okay? That window started closing around 2007. College Dropout made his debut in 2004, okay? I really believe that Kanye West, during his college years, however long he stayed in college, plus, you know, whatever age he would have graduated from. So let's say Kanye entered college at 18 and he was supposed to graduate at 21. Around that time, those years, okay, Kanye was heavy into conscious rap. I'm telling you, he was into this Erykah Badu shit, this Dead Prayers, this, you know, he was into that, all right, alongside of, you know, music that he grew up with in Chicago, okay, the Twisters and the Do or Dies and all of them, okay, and the juking music and the sounds that come out of Chicago. Common, obviously, because he started working with Common, and I'm adding that to this too, okay, I'll get to Common in a minute. But I really believe that Kanye was heavily influenced by this music and he was into it. When you listen to his beats back in them days, they were soul beats, okay? He would take a sample from an old soul song, R&B soul song, and slap it on there with a sped up voice, okay? That was his sound, all right? And Kanye really, only outside of conscious MCs, the only person he was really working with was like Jay-Z and maybe a few R&B singers, all right? Ludacris, okay? A few artists, but the bulk of them were conscious MCs because Kanye was in that wave. All right, he like, if I'm gonna get in the game, this right here is, you know, a subgenre that's making a lot of buzz, and this is the type of music I like, so I'm hopping on this wave. I don't think he made that his master plan. He probably did it subconsciously, but the point is he rode that wave. Okay, now in 2005. This is when the game started shifting. Okay, now I would say that conscious rap still had a place. Okay, obviously, because you got albums like Eardrum in 2007 that went #2 on the charts. Okay, from Talib Kweli, but it was dying out. This is around the time Atlanta and the trap sound and all of that was like just dominating. Okay, just dominating. And you had a lot of pop artists doing songs with rap artists, okay? Now, we always seen that, but the collaboration started coming super high, and I attribute that mainly to Lil Wayne, okay? Lil Wayne was the hottest fucking rapper around that time, okay? And Lil Wayne was doing a lot of collaborations. He was turning nobody down. You can get a feature with Lil Wayne on a country song, okay? He didn't give a fuck. He was just chasing that money, I guess, and I don't blame him, all right? So you had the crossover appeal with hip-hop doing a big merge, okay? It always merged with pop, but a bigger merge with pop music. And 2005 is when we got introduced to T-Pain, okay? And the auto-tune sound just exploded, Okay, it exploded. Around this time, Kanye is still doing his conscious music, but Kanye is sniffing the money going another way. He see that this wave is going somewhere else where certain subgenres are not really holding steady or being strong like they were before. The conscious MC really wasn't in demand as much. You had artists like Nas, and this is me getting the Common, Kweli, the Roots, and all these guys were doing fairly well, but then it started shifting, okay, to a Southern sound and a auto-tune sound, okay? Now, you can either adapt, okay, or you could stay in your lane, okay, or you can, try to create a new wave. And Kanye went right to auto-tune, okay? He went right to auto-tune, smack dab right into it. And I also think he merged pop with it too, okay? And what I mean by that is, instead of collaborating with pop artists, Kanye was the pop artist. Kanye didn't rap. He just sung auto-tune songs, okay, over some hip-hop drum patterns, all right? And he gave us 808s and Heartbreaks, okay? And I seen interviews where Lil Uzi Vert said that album influenced his sound. And a lot of people started trying to make spin-off videos off of that comment from Lil Uzi Vert and make it like Kanye created the sound that we're seeing now from artists who are doing more melodies, when that's not the case, okay? T-Pain was doing this. A lot of artists, with Bone Thugs, all them guys were harmonizing for a long time, okay? That's not the case. It's the artist using auto-tune and putting feeling into his voice. Like usually when an artist was singing, doing melodies, the only ones that were really serious about that shit was like Bone Thugs. Other guys were just fucking around. But like now you see guys really like seriously singing. And again, it was always being done. It was done before these guys doing it. Andre 3000 was doing this shit, okay? So it was happening before 808s and Heartbreak, my main point, all right? Kanye didn't usher in that sound. He didn't make auto-tune popular. T-Pain and Lil Wayne did that. He hopped on their wave, okay? We got the highly anticipated Lil Wayne T-Pain album like last year or something like that. If that album would have came out like in 2008 or 2009, them guys would have cashed the fuck in, okay? Because that sound was so popular. Everybody was doing auto-tune in, okay? So Kanye didn't create anything around that era. He was a pawn in that era. He pretty much owes T-Pain some debt, okay? Or a check, you can argue. But I really think Future owed T-Pain the most money, but that's another subject. All right, so yes, Kanye was riding that wave, all right? Now, hip-hop is always evolving, okay? And I'm going to end it with that 808s and Heartbreaks. That's where I'm going to end with that. I'm not going to talk about anything in between that. I'm just going to say you look at him from then and you look at him now. And you tell me, what has Kanye created? To me, his most innovative album ever was My Beautiful Twisted Dark Fantasy. I think that was more of him doing him. It was a lot of original things inside of that album. I pointed out one with Power, okay? And I think the reason why that album was so different and so innovative and so creative compared to his other albums is because I think that Kanye really didn't chase a sound on there. It sounded like Kanye was experimenting with some sounds and throwing popular artists into them. It's like he brought them into his world instead of him dabbling in their world, all right? And that's not even my favorite Kanye album. My favorite Kanye album is Late Registration. I think Late Registration is one of the best hip-hop albums ever made. It's like in my top 5, okay? And I think that it was a conscious album, okay? But I think that his sound was very unique on there, okay? Very unique. College Dropout, I don't want to say it was your run-of-the-mill conscious album, but to me, it wasn't really anything innovative on it. Okay, he had some nice beats on there. The production was awesome. The album flow and sequences was great. Okay, but to me, it wasn't nothing that I never heard before. Now, late registration was a theme that I heard before. The substance in the album was things that I've heard before. It was nothing new. Okay, but at the same time, some of the beats on there it was something that we never heard before, like We Major, a song that really doesn't even have any drum patterns. Okay, that's like something you rarely see when you throw Nas on there and him on there, and the things that they talking about, and the way the bridge comes in. I mean, everything about this song, like it's just innovative, all right. But at the same time, I still think he was on a conscious wave. I think on My Beautiful Twisted Dark Fantasy, if I'm saying that right, I think that he wasn't chasing any wave. He wasn't chasing any sound. I think that album was like really his 808s and Heartbreak. Okay, I think that's more in line of what he was trying to do with originality and giving people a vulnerable side of Kanye. Okay, but from 808s and Heartbreaks to now, the only thing I will accept is My Beautiful Twisted Dark Fantasy. Everything else, if you ask me, he was chasing a sound and was always riding a wave. If you disagree with me, get in the comments section. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me you wrote them fucking notes down for nothing because you don't know what the fuck you talking about. If you agree with me and you got more evidence, to back my claim, to back our claim, okay, get in there and let me expand my mind on it, and I can add some more to this case just in case I'm debating one of my best friends about Kanye, and I can be like, look, boom, boom, boom. This dude in the comment section told me that this happened. So I got more to add to my case, So get in there and let me know something. You guys have a good one. Peace.